The board members have spoken. Hillary, did you want to address the board on this item in particular or something in general? And if it's in general, I'm going to ask you to wait until we've finished considering this item, if I could. What's your preference?
I don't know. Am I on? I can't figure out this out.
You are.
Can you hear me?
We can. Hello.
I'll wait till you guys are finished.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, but I do want to speak to this.
Well, this particular item, the Stantec contract, or did you have another item? There is something else on the agenda.
All right, well, maybe it's Stantec. The outlining of their work.
Okay, well, now would be good then.
What?
Now would be great, a good time for you to provide your comments on the Stantec scope of work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not turning on my live video because it's frightening. But I've been listening. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you guys' work. Stantec, I appreciate your work. I want to really impress upon Stantec and the scope of this work, that it includes everybody. I've heard it said, and then it's not real clear to me, but that it does the whole thing, even if you do part 1 and 2. But we are working on money coming into this project from the state, and it's a good project, but not in pieces. So I don't know who is directing Stantec for this design, but to include the whole area, Lisa Palmer, your comment before, I'm going to say yes. Please do the whole picture. All the residents, not phase 1, phase 2, get rid of 1 and 2. Do it all. Can we see what it costs? And so that we can go for that cost.
Great. Great. Thanks so much, Hillary. Appreciate it. Sorry about that. Okay, gosh, sorry. It says I'm muted and then I'm not. So, okay, so let's bring it back. It sounds to me, if I could, that we need Stantec to revise the proposal based on this conversation. I think primarily, unless I missed something, Bob, it's with respect to 60% for the whole district, broken out by zone on a cost. I'll let you guys figure it out, but it's a 60% design for the entire district. Is that the pleasure of, and plus I think we can't take action today, 1, because it needs to reflect that cost, and 2, certainly given the importance of the decision, want to have another meeting where we have our technical committee part of that. So I'm open also to having a special meeting if we need to before August to move this along. I think between this and GSI and the environmental, if we need to do that, we do, in order to be ready to hit go when those state funds come in.
Madam President, I agree with that approach, and I agree with what Hillary had indicated too, and that gives us the tools we need. If we do break out phase 1, we know what those costs are, but the town has to be designed to at least 60%, so we know. I also note that there's the potential for some federal money being available as a part of the infrastructure
Right.
Stuff that is being talked about back in Washington, and so I think we need a new proposal that I'm not comfortable with the proposal and a follow-up letter, and then I'd just like to impress upon Ms. Glazer that understanding our concerns of the time frame, and that's additional work, and so we need an honest evaluation of what your schedule is going to be with that, and we'll just let you take a look at that and tell us, and then just the cost, understanding that we're grant funded here and to 50%, and that we just need to know that we're going to be good on the costs, and that if you come back and need an additional scope or something, we're relying on you to identify that and make sure it's all encompassing, so that when we make a decision to award this, that we're going to get the product at the end of the day and on time. And I know what I'm asking for. In engineering, there's get it fast, get it cheap, and get it good. And normally you only get to choose 2, but I guess we're asking for 3.
It's worth asking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll work with Bob and revise based on this discussion.
Madam President, if I could, just a question so we can kind of begin to time frame this. Autumn, given what you've heard tonight, how quickly do you think you could turn around the revised proposal?
Probably within, probably at the end of next week or within a week. I just would need to get the team looking at all the details.
And maybe we can have some discussions in between as well.
And
Yeah.
Mr. Perot, I'd also note that this is being recorded, so if Ms. Glazer was frantically trying to take notes and didn't get everything, I think we can make this available to her if she wants.
Absolutely.
And or her team. It might be helpful to hear that, and so I saw that at the outset, and I go, oh, that it's good that we have that recorded like that. So
right. So, and Hillary, you wanted to add something on funding. As long as we're here, why don't you offer that, the federal funding? Is that aligned with what you sent the other day?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, and Stantec. Thank you for all your hard work. But everything is changing so fast right now. Federally, I mean, we can't wait for federal. We might all be dead by then. But there is a big emphasis on water, wastewater, groundwater, and preserving water right now, and I think there is more money available to you, to the LOCSD, than they realized a month ago. Having stayed on top of that through Irwin, Jane Gray, who is going to help LOCSD through Joan Hartman's office, which we're meeting tomorrow, our goal is to get as much money as you need to build your wastewater recycle facility. And I will say that to Stantec, I don't know what your design exactly includes, but it needs to include the cost of a recycled water plant that will provide for everybody and take from everybody. I really want to get rid of phase 1, phase 2. Your whole community.
We got that. Thanks.
Am I a broken record? I'm sorry.
No, but
I will stop. I will stop. But I will say this. It is changing. We're meeting tomorrow with Joan Hartman's office and so forth, and Jane Gray, who has the link to the money for whatever you want to build. And all I'm going to say is build the whole thing and not half and part. I'm sorry. for,
It's okay. I appreciate it. And I think what I'm hearing too, Hillary, is that a design for the entire district is going to make us eligible for more money than if we're phasing it. So at that,
Yes.
I think we'll wrap it up. Bob, do you need an action from the board, or you have what you need to go with Autumn and Huddle and get a revised proposal? You're on mute. Bob,
Yes,
you're on
great.
mute. Thanks,
I
Hillary.
will, rely to a certain degree on Ross for advice, but I think the consensus is pretty strong, and staff has enough information and direction that what we'll actually do is work with Stantec in getting a revised proposal that reflects the 60% design for the entire project. And we will, as soon as that's in, I'll begin working to move it along as quickly as possible. And if we're able to make a special meeting, I'll suggest that.
Thanks. Yeah, that's consistent with your option 3, provide staff with direction. So I think that's what we just did. Okay. Thank you all. That was a great discussion. Autumn, thank you for the work you've done. And as I'm glad you were here to hear this firsthand in the discussion with the board. I hope that's beneficial as you go back and revise that. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes,
Madam President, I also
absolutely.
want to thank Ms. Glazer and Hillary for joining us and providing, Hillary, for your comments and your support, and for Autumn taking our comments, and we look forward to moving forward on this.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, you guys. And Tom, that was a nice thank you. I thank you all. We're going to get this. It's in all of our interest to get this really well.
Yeah.
And we're
And
with you.
Thanks, Hillary. It's nice to be